So this is the third International Chronic Poverty Report. There have been two previous international reports back in 2004 and 2008, which were really focused on identifying who the chronically poor are, where they were, and what policies would work to tackle chronic poverty. This report is a little bit more ambitious because the world is talking about ending extreme poverty in our lifetimes. And this report is really a reflection on what is required in order to achieve that noble goal. We use the international monetary definition of poverty, of extreme poverty, which is $1.25 a day. That may well change at some point in the near future, but that's what it is at the moment. We also in the report use a lower measure, a lower poverty line, which we call the severe poverty line, and this is 70 cents per person per day. And we use this because this is actually the average consumption or income of poor people in Africa. So there's a very large number, especially in Africa, but also elsewhere, of people who are way below the poverty line. And we feel that that is a kind of poverty which the world doesn't really focus on enough, and we wanted to highlight it. Well, finance is a critical issue. The basic solution to poverty has to be from domestic resource mobilization. So taxes have to be raised. So improving the efficiency of government tax machinery is really important, just so that you can raise more resources, so that you have the resources to spend on infrastructure, on health and education services, on social protection and other issues. There are many countries which are spending less than $1,000, less than 44 countries spending less than $500 per person per year, total expenditure on everything, defense, foreign policy, absolutely everything. And countries that are at that level are going to really struggle to produce the resources over the next 20 years to finance poverty eradication. Even countries above the $500 level will struggle. So, efforts to improve tax takes and then, of course, to spend the money well need to be redoubled, and there is a need for continued aid. The report argues very strongly that there are many countries that will need continued aid for a considerable period of time to come. Yeah, there are lots of things that we can do. I mean, there are good measures that can be put in place. For example, some countries don't still have adequate birth registration systems. If you're not registered from birth, you may find it difficult later on to gain access to some of the rights that, in theory, your government has given you. So having a good birth registration system so that you are known to exist can be a critical measure to facilitate all kinds of other measures. So there are things like that which one can do. I think the key thing is that business as usual approaches are not going to work. They're not going to get us there. The report tries to show what a different or a stronger set of initiatives would look like. And I think getting the political commitment to back those initiatives is really the critical issue in the coming years.